to the first Mondays with Mike. So I kind of wanted to do this kind of little episode. It's probably going to be every couple weeks, mainly for the people that have been tuning in on Instagram, and wanted to bring everyone here to ask questions. So if anyone wants to chime in or ask anything, I'll just look at them and answer them the best I can. So kind of wait for some people to get on here. You guys can leave comments. Hopefully it's working. This is the first live feed I've ever done on YouTube, so hopefully I'm doing everything right. Shows we have 6 people on here right now. What's up, Tony? Good to see the comments are working. So yeah, go ahead and shoot some questions over. I'll answer them the best I can. I'm just here at my home office. What's up, Andy? Thanks. I got lots of them. Except I haven't gotten any for a while now. So I think in total I probably have at least, I'd say 90 hours work on my body. Maybe more, I don't know. Good to see some people actually tuning in today. If this is popular, I might do it every week and maybe have some guests on here and whatever, but we'll see how it goes. Andy, I totally can't wait to see if you're going to do what we were talking about earlier. I think that's a huge game changer for the Accord group, but it's going to be good for the 6-speed guys, not the auto guys. Anyone else want to chime in? Let's get some conversation going. So I'll probably do these chats for about 30 minutes or so. It depends on the questions that come in, and go from there, obviously. You guys can ask questions on shipping, parts, cars, anything you want. Yeah, night gen. Haha. Your night gen better hurry up. I feel like we both haven't driven our night gens for probably like 5 years at this point. So anyways, I guess I put the downpipe that's coming out for the 1.5 turbo on our kind of screen up there. If anyone has any questions about it, yes, I'm going to be making a 2-liter one for the K20C motors. That'll happen next. I just have to find an OEM downpipe and go from there. It'll probably take me about a month to 2 months to come up with the first prototype, and then about 2 months to go into production. First upgrade should always be a K-tuner, hands down. If you're worried about your clutch, you can do some of the bolt-ons because they don't need a tune. So intake, front mount intercooler. But yeah, I mean, if you invest in a K-tuner, you're gonna want to get a clutch pretty soon. It just depends on how you drive. So, but I definitely think that's the best way to go. Remark are supposed to be due in August. That's what I was told from Remark, and a couple other wholesale companies that we buy also our Remark from. So it's pretty much whoever gets them first, they go out that way. Yeah, the downpipe's going to be fire. I had guy talking shit about it right now online that kind of pissed me off, but um, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. So the whole reason this downpipe kind of came up in my head was I was looking at things the EPA are doing to businesses and trying to come up with something that would be a game changer as far as making people actually use a catted downpipe on the street, but have that option to switch out to a catless when they go to the racetrack. And it'd probably be only like a 10-minute change with the V-band clamps. So yeah, we went to our friends that do all our fab work for us and took them the idea, and that's what we came up with. As far as price, I have no idea. They're going to do an actual production unit next and figure out the actual time that it takes to weld everything. And then I got to figure out all the parts. It's not going to be cheap, but I honestly don't know where it's going to be. I mean, price range, I'd love to get it around 700-800. But there are a lot of pieces that come with it, and obviously it's not like anything else out there. So will it throw a check engine light? The Cat's supposed to not, because I did a 400 cell unit, but I'm sure it's gonna, to be honest, because the only ones that don't are the Jesse, the GESIs, and those are so expensive and they're hard to get and they sell out so fast, and I don't want to get caught with the the lead times on those if they go out of production. I mean, that was part of the problem PRL had. But yeah, it's super cool idea. I don't know. Everyone says they've never seen anything like it. So I don't know if the EPA could actually give me into trouble for that. I'm trying to actually abide by the rules and give people an option so they don't run catless on the street. I mean, the whole thing is to abide by the rules so we still have this hobby going for the next 10, 20 years, if not longer. But if people keep ruining it for others, then you're going to see a lot of changes. So, Andy, I'm ready for a 10-second Accord. Forget the 11s, dude. Yeah, I mean, the auto is going to have a point where it's just not going to go any faster. And unless there's an automatic upgrade, you know, we're pretty much at a low 11-second time. But who knows? But I could definitely see an Accord with a built motor and a fuel system running in the low 10s. So it's possible. I mean, anything is possible. All right, who else is on here? We got 10 people. Shoot me some questions, peeps. I'm about ready to go. Well, it's 6:09 here, West Coast in Arizona. About ready to go run here in an hour, and it'll probably be about 106 out. So definitely nice and warm. I think we've been over 110 for about 3 weeks straight right now. So I think today was 109. I'm not sure, 110. So any other questions? Shoot them at me. Do. Oh. Yeah, I bet Carolina's hot. Got a lot of humidity. Ooh, nice. Yeah, my only thing with the that standalone is the wiring harness. That's the part where I'm going to kind of have a tough time with. I don't really care on our 11th gen Civic because it's an extra car and I don't really drive it much, but I'm assuming most of all this stuff will just wire in. We'll probably have to delete a couple things off the engine, but I mean, that's why this is going to be the reason I picked the K20C and not an older K series for the 11th gen Civic was I wanted to try and get some information that could help other people that are trying to do swaps for older generations and what standalone to go. And so, best rear camber kit for the 11th gen. Well, I mean, I have my favorites. I would say the best priced one for longevity is the SPC steel ones. I sell a ton of those all the time. They're like $239 for the pair. If you want something nicer, the Eibach aluminum ones are really nice. And Skunk 2 ones are actually really nice too. I ran those for a while on my Accord when I had it. Yeah, I mean, most rear cambers they usually don't have a problem. The only thing is, if you get a Heim joint rear camber, you're going to have noise from obviously not having a rubber bushing in there. So just know that. Prackworks manifold is fire. Those things are so sexy. Haven't had a lot of orders on them, but I've sold a couple already. But I mean, it's a lot of money to shell out, and hopefully the Accord guys will jump on it. I don't know. I mean, Prackworks say 20 to 30 wheel horsepower, so we'll see. I mean, the runners and everything are significantly different. Did your downpipe throw a check engine light? I don't know. I haven't ran it on the car yet. Most likely it will. And you just have to turn off the secondary O2 sensor with the K-tuner or Hondata, like some of the other downpipes. Talk a little bit about Remark. I see a lot of people running them. Is it a good quality system? I'm 99. Yes, I had it on my car. I had it on there for maybe 6 months. The only reason I took it off was I'm trying to cut as much weight out of the car to take the world record for the 1.5 turbo 11th gen guys. So it was about 50 pounds off the car, and I just run a straight downpipe, front pipe, dump tube. But it's really nice. It does step down in size a little bit from the front pipe 2-inch to like about a 2 3/4, which you're not even going to notice. I mean, honestly, most of these catbacks on these cars, the Accords, the Civics, you're not really picking up much power. It's mainly sound, to be quite honest. Yeah, you do need a port fuel. Definitely. Andy. You could always go the Radium, or you could go the Prackworks. It just depends on your budget. Frankie, I don't have the RDX. I sold that a year ago. I parted it out and traded it in right at the worst time when all the cars started losing a ton of money, and didn't get, I think I got 37K for it. It was horrible. But I traded that in. Well, I got my Audi TT-RS, and then I got rid of the RDX. I kind of wish I still had the RDX, to be honest. It was a lot of fun. And I wish we got more RDX orders from people, but I feel like a lot of people don't know kind of who we are in the RDX world. So new t-shirt designs. I still got to think about that. The last headache with the last t-shirt company was horrible. They basically shipped me 4 shipments, and every single one was completely wrong. So I got to find a new company. All right, thermal R&D. Yeah, your power level, that's a different story. Yeah, I mean, the exhaust is going to work at a certain point, but for most, bolt-on stuff, you're barely even pushing that exhaust out the back. So, I mean, yeah, you'll probably gain some horsepower for some of the bolt-on exhaust, but they're mainly sound up to a certain point. Thanks, Harry. I try. I've been doing this now, God, how long? Well, I started the business in 2009 and didn't really get it going till about 2011. And I pretty much worked 2 jobs, well, a full-time career and this up till 2020. So, yep, a lot of work. I don't know, it's great owning your own business, but it's hard at the same time. I mean, for a while there, I think I did 4 years of no days off with both jobs. So, yeah. Hey, I'm new. What's up, Jeremy? We sell Honda and Acura parts. Anything to modify your car and make it go faster. Will your downpipe be compatible with all other companies? Yes. So here's one thing about all the downpipes and front pipes and exhausts. All the downpipes made, pretty much, if it's just the downpipe only, work with any front pipe, OEM, aftermarket, 3-inch, whatever. Everything's built off OEM parts. RV6 downpipe, it comes with a front pipe. You can't separate those two, so they've got to come together. Same with Skunk 2. They've made it so their own flange has to work with their front pipe. But the old PRL, PLM, ours will work with OEM 3-inch, some of the CapEx that come with a front pipe. So, yep. I should be, so for everyone on here, I should be installing our downpipe on our Civic this weekend, and most likely swapping to the big RV6 turbo at the same time. That's the goal anyways. The garage gets to about 140 in the summer here, so it's pretty brutal. So I gotta start it early in the morning and then finish up whenever I can. Let's see, give me more questions. And you guys can ask anything. It doesn't I mean, I like it to be Honda related, but if you want to ask questions about the business or how I got started or, yeah, I'm going to video the whole process on that. I'm actually going to be installing a 10th gen Skunk 2 downpipe with front pipe at the same time to show people if there are differences, what are the differences, can they install them? So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty sure you can fit a 1010 on. I know there's a couple small tweaks, but we'll see in the video. It might be a 2-part series where one's our downpipe, one's the turbo install, one's the Skunk 2 video. So I'm trying to bring a lot of videos out, at least 2 or 3 a week on the car. And if you guys want to see some parts installed on the car, I can also order whatever and throw it on the car and be like, hey, here's whatever. I'm pretty spread thin on time between running this business and doing everything and then having to work on the car, and I'm also redoing our website behind the scenes, so that's a lot of work too. Yeah, Speed Factory, that hatch is nuts. It always has been. I'm glad they actually rebuilt it after they crashed it. I mean, it's so I've been in the well, not the industry, but into import drag racing since '94. So probably a lot longer than some of the people that are in this group. But I remember when like the fastest Hondas that were turboed were running 11s. And, it was pretty cool seeing people get into the 10s and people get into 9s and people get into the 8s. And you had the all motor guys. I mean, I remember Jeremy Lakovsky with El Natural, like they were running like low 12s with an H22, H23. And now you look at how fast these dudes are, and it's insane. It's so cool. All right, let's see. Question. If I decide to keep the stock downpipe, is there a reason to go aftermarket front pipe? Honestly, not really. I mean, it's bigger diameter, but the main restriction is the downpipe. It's not the front pipe. If you just look at the horrible bend coming out the turbo and then the cat, and yeah, most of your power is going to be in the downpipe. Okay, so our downpipe is both. It's a 2-in-1 downpipe. So you have the advantage of, well, it's supposed to be run catted on the street at all times, no catless. We will supply a catless conversion pipe for if you want to take it to the track and swap that out real quick. Most downpipe swaps, if you swap out to catless, it's about 5 wheel horsepower gain over catted. So it's not huge, but there's some people that want that. So Greddy intercooler. Yeah, I mean, the Greddy intercooler is nice. I don't think they make one for the 11th gen yet. PRL's the best in my opinion. The end tank design, they use a Garrett core, which is the best intercooler in the industry. It's fantastic. Yeah, and you get the CNC'd end tanks, perfect fitment. You don't have to deal with not hearing from Greddy for like 10 months if they're on back order, which some of the Japanese companies are really hard to get a hold of and hard to get any timing out of or anything. I definitely always recommend, if you're buying HKS, Greddy, any of the overseas companies, make sure someone has it first, because you know it can be 6 to 10 month waits on certain things. It's not as bad now as COVID, but let's see, anyone else? It's always cool to see where other people are from around the country. We're in Arizona. Started the business in California and got out of there 8 years ago because I saw the changes going on with that state. So I didn't want to get trapped into a business that was stuck to stupid policies. New RDX stuff. Honestly, there's probably never going to be any new RDX stuff unless you just modify or use Accord or Type R parts. That's pretty much what we did. I don't think there's a big enough market, unfortunately. At some point there might be, because people with RDXs or Acuras in general really like their warranties and don't want to avoid them. And we're all about voiding warranties. So, yeah, I just don't know, I have tons of customers that have already done turbo swaps and love it. Everyone thinks like, oh, this motor's going to blow at 400 horsepower. Not even close. Like, these things you could go deep in the 500s before you have to worry. Head gasket might be your only issue, like over 450, but yeah. The trans I was a little bit worried about on the RDX, because launching it just has a tough time to figure out what it wants to do. And I never really got into working with some of my launch features on the K-Tuner. But the quickest 0 to 60 time I got in the RDX was 4.2 seconds, which I guess that's kind of quick. But yeah, what warranty? Yeah, warranties suck. I found that out with Subaru a long time ago. What's up, dude? Yeah, I don't know. This is the thing. I mean, I had a blown transmission as Subaru a long time ago. This was 23 years ago. I had one of the first WRXs in the country, and I actually took it to the track. But I think at that time I had downpipe intake and I had some Volk racing wheels on the car, and they voided the warranty because of my Volk racing wheels. And I fought them for quite a while because they advertised the car as a race car. And yep, they didn't warranty the car. So yeah, I just figure if you want to mod the car, just go and just say, screw the warranty. Most companies are going to try and get out of it anyways these days. And with the amount of stuff online, it's so easy to research the person and find out what they've been doing with their car. So yeah, best to learn how to do the work yourself and not worry. All right, any other questions? Damn, I got a lot of emails. So yeah, this is just in my home office. I figured I'd just do it here since it's nice and cool and perfect time for people to tune in. So let me know if you guys think I should do this every week or every 2 weeks. I mean, it just depends. I need more people obviously tuning in every week so they can, ask questions. It gets a little stale when there's only about 10 people in here. K-Tuner is totally safe. You don't have to worry at all. Even on a CVT, you're fine. You're probably actually better off than the manual guys from blowing their clutches. Yeah, I mean, K-Tuner, you just don't want to go on ethanol, to be honest. It's just so much torque for that trans to handle. So K-Tuner and some bolt-ons, you're fine. Just leave it at that. Coming to Pennsylvania. Well, I'll be close pretty soon. I'm going back. My fiance's family is in Northern Virginia, So we're going to be there for Christmas again. And we're doing an East Coast road trip next April, I think. But I'm only going up as far as Virginia. I need to go to PRL and check in with all those guys. I've been promising them that I would come back out for a while, and I haven't. Nope, 27.1 will not sell parts to us. I had to actually interview with them, and had a great conversation, and they just said, well, maybe later we can have you sell parts, but I don't know, they didn't really seem like they cared too much, and kind of sucks that they sell to some of our competition, and it kind of makes us not be able to carry as much stuff, but it is what it is. I mean, I tried. What would be, I'm already building the perfect build, but money is an option. If you haven't checked out our 9th Gen Civic, that to me is, I mean, there's tons of really nice builds. That one's a little over the top for most people, but you should check out some videos on here or on our Instagram. I should have it back from paint within a couple weeks, I think, but it's a J35 that will be fully built. It's a 72 millimeter turbo BorgWarner unit on a 200 shot. I have no idea what it's going to make. I'm just saying, let's go 1200 wheel horsepower, 900 torque. But we'll figure that out when the day comes. I have to pay for the engine to get done. I need a clutch. I need PPG gears for the K-Series trans that's in it. Axles. Let's see, what else do we need? Haltech unit, some other stuff, wiring. Fearable stage 1.5. Honestly, I don't know much about the Fearable tunes or the two-step performance tunes. I mean, I guess it's kind of nice they're free. I think it's just a way for them to sell more K-tuners. Personally, for me, I'd rather just get all my parts, run the stage 2 tune, and then get a custom tune on ethanol and be set at that. My tuning advice is definitely go with Derek Robinson. Manolito is really good too. And obviously Fearable, I mean, they do some good stuff too. So there's definitely a lot of people around the country that are pretty good. It's just, you gotta check what they prefer. If they say Honda on these newer cars, you shouldn't be tuning with them. I mean, K-Tuner is the best on the 10th Gen Civic, Accord, RDX, TLX, 11th Gen Civic. The only one that Honda is really good on the newer stuff is the Type R. So we recommend those for the Type R guys. I think K-Tuner, I don't even know what K-Tuner have done with the Type R stuff at this point. As far as tuning, I don't know if they left it alone or who knows, but yeah, the K-Tuner, it's way less money and has more features, and it's safer. K-Tuner always. Yes, custom tune for sure. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I mean, these tunes are cool and they work and that from these companies, but at the same time, it's just, it's a nice little ploy to have them sell K-Tuners, you know? So, and it singles out people like me who sell K-Tuners, but I don't offer a tune, so. Yeah, the 9th is going to be cool. I actually, Andy, I think we're actually going to, I was planning to have the car be a half-mile airstrip attack car, and at this point, I kind of just want to just go full drag on it and see if we can set the 9th Gen front-wheel drive record. I don't even know what Harry set. I know it was in the 9s somewhere, so we'll see. I still got a long time before that car's done. Thanks, Samuel. Yeah, I try. I mean, it's hard sometimes with parts, but, you know, that was why I got into the business, was because I thought some of these businesses just lack so much communication with customers. And I think that's the key, really. 9.5. I mean, we'll see what the car will do. I have no idea. I mean, I'll have the power to go faster than that, but whether I can control it or whatever. Nice. I like getting the feedback on our service. It definitely makes me feel good. Yeah, most stuff. Well, I'll go over it here. I went over it on Instagram the other day. Most of the parts I actually touch and ship. I actually own a tape gun, so I actually seal the boxes myself. But not everything ships from a company like us. There's certain parts that I probably never touch ever because it makes no sense bringing them here and then having to ship out again. And just with FedEx, buying from the companies direct and having them drop ship certain parts like exhausts especially, they maybe charge me $40 to ship an exhaust, whereas if I ship it from here it's about $160 to $320. So that's why I don't like to touch certain items. But yeah, we try to have everything in stock. It's been hard lately, especially with PRL products. They're going through a transition right now, but everything should be back to normal pretty soon with them. They're changing how they're doing things and going from shipping from PRL to now shipping from 6 different warehouses all over the country. And those warehouses have to get in the product and then get it into inventory, then ship out. So that's why the PRL stuff's taking a while. Yeah, front wheel drive is going to be hard. I mean, I thought about going all wheel drive with the car, but I'm already modifying so many things. It's like to add one more thing to the list on the 9th gen is just impossible. So front wheel drive at first, get the car running, and then we'll see what it does. Let's see, rear diffuser. I have no idea about that stuff. Honestly, the hatchback guys, I mean, I kind of feel if you have a non-Type R hatchback, it's gonna have to be something that's probably modified because the hatchback guys just aren't gonna get the love like the Type R guys or the SI guys. So it's kind of like that in-between thing. Most likely you can take anything Type R and make it somehow work. You just have to check the dimensions in that. But I mean, most diffusers in that anyways are not pretty much bolt-on. They need some modifying to them. I've owned my business since 2009. I used to be a project manager doing shelving for grocery stores and gas stations and stuff like that. And I had been in the import drag racing scene and street racing scene in California since '94. And I just wanted to start my own business. I had been laid off from a couple companies and had some tough times and was tired of having a boss and getting laid off. So I ended up starting the business, and it took a little while, and then I got a job with another company and started investing my money into my business. And it didn't happen overnight, that's for sure. I pretty much, like I said earlier in here, I pretty much worked 2 jobs till 2020 to keep investing in the cars that I'm doing and the business and make things work. So yeah, it's hard. And I think the thing a lot of people don't really realize about business owners or small business owners is you are literally looking at your income or sales every single day. And if one thing is weird or out of line from what normally happens, you just freak out, especially when you have a house to pay for and a lot of things. And it's just that uncertainty. I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and my sales are really good every month. It's pretty much, I'm still growing. It still every year's been beating year to year, which is great. That's what you want to see. But there's times where, especially in the summer months, it's hard. I mean, sales go way down. You have people traveling, doing other stuff. But you just got to keep doing what you do, So yeah, I've owned a lot of cars, and not all Hondas. My first actual car was a BMW, a 1970 BMW 2002. And I had my first Honda in 95 or 96, I think. I bought a 1992 Civic hatchback VX model, which actually was the shitty 5-speed that it came with the crazy overdrive. But those things actually got 60 miles per gallon back then with the 1.5. Yeah, times are strange right now. I mean, what this country's going through. I don't like to get into political stuff because it doesn't go anywhere, but there's definitely a lot of changes. A lot of changes with EPA and stupid electric vehicles, which I fucking hate. Sorry, but there's some good use out of electronic vehicles, but there's nothing like good gas power. And it's funny, I was just in Dubai, and those countries, you hardly even see any electric cars because they don't need them, because their gas is like $1 a gallon there. It's actually more expensive to buy a bottle of water than it is a gallon of gas there. If you ever have a chance to go to Dubai, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, Andy, how long have you been buying from me, dude? It's got to be well over 10 years, maybe. Yeah, nobody wants to drive a microwave. Yeah, it's funny here. I mean, the amount of Teslas that are just blowing up and catching fire because of the heat and static. It's so dry here, so there's a lot of static electricity. If you guys have been out here, like, June's the worst month ever because it's super hot and static electricity is like everything you touch is you get shocked. Yeah, there's fires all the time here because of Teslas, and usually in people's garages charging them. The fastest car I've owned. Well, I'm trying to think. I would probably say the Audi, actually. The TTRS, probably. I mean, I think right now it's a good low 11-second car. I was building a really cool Evo 9MR, and the engine and turbo setup I had made 1,300 horsepower on a car, but I actually got an offer for the car, and it was too good to pass up, and I sold it to the guy and sold everything separate. So yeah, I would probably say like low 11s is probably the fastest car I've owned. Somewhere in there. I mean, the 9th gen is going to be the fastest car I've ever owned, but it will probably be done next year sometime. So, all right, any other questions on parts? I'm going to get off here soon. No, I don't need any more cars, man. I own, well, between my fiance and I, we have 6 cars. So, we have the TTRS, which is actually going on Bring a Trailer this week. Hopefully I get the money I want for it. If anyone knows anyone that wants a TTRS, a 2021, that's only got 8,000 miles on it. It'll be on Bring Your Trailer, I think this week or next week. And then I have a 2015 Honda Fit with an L15 B7 swap. I have the 9th gen with the J35 turbo swap. That's the race car. I have a 2021 Honda Passport all-wheel drive. That's my daily. I have the 2022 Civic hatchback. And then my fiance drives a GLC AMG 63. A 2021, I think. But yeah, I need more room here. So I'm actually selling the TT, and then the Honda Fit will be gone this year. That car's been a long project car, and I'm kind of over it at this point. So I would like it gone. So if anyone wants a one of one in the world, let me know. Yeah, 6 cars is a lot. I need them gone. So, especially considering 3 of them I don't really drive, or 4 of them I don't drive, actually, really. All right, so do you guys think it's a good idea to do this every week or two? Or I like reaching out. It actually lets me feel like I connect better with the customers on here, and you guys can ask questions and I can answer it versus the emails and messaging I get all day long. Cool. So Mondays with Mike it is. I pretty much figure we'll go from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how many people actually get on and ask questions. I feel like every week it'll probably grow a little bit more with more people. This is the first one, so whoever is on here, thank you. If you do want to order parts with us, you can email me. Some things I can give a discount code on, so it just depends on the manufacturer, because we have to watch MAP violations. But yeah, shoot us an email, axionindustries@gmail.com. I'd love to help any of you guys out with whatever you're building. We can get parts for any other cars. So if you don't see something on the website, but you're like, man, I need this intake for my BMW, or you've got a 1992 Camaro, just shoot me an email with the part number. I can let you know if I can get it or get you a good deal. I mean, I don't need to make money on those parts because I don't sell them, so, but I can get them. What would I buy? Oh, if it was an Integra Type S or a Civic Type R. Honestly, well, I already own an 11th gen Civic Hatch, so there's no point in having a Type R for me. So I would probably go with the Integra Type S. But if I didn't have that, I would go with the Type S. I just love the look of it. That's just such a beautiful car. Not that the Civic Type R isn't, but it's just me. I'm a little older. I'll be 47 in October, so yeah, I think the Acura kind of fits me a little more. Red valve cover for the 10-gen. Yeah, I actually have a guy that does our painting for valve covers, and I think I might have an option eventually that I might add to the website. He's actually doing a couple valve covers for me right now, but I want to get the price dialed in because it's not cheap. You got to figure I got to get the part from Honda, get it here, and then go down, drop it off, get it painted, and then ship it back out. It's not cheap. I mean, these valve covers, brand new OEM, or and then all the shipping, but yeah, it's something we can do. I just need to add it to my site. But I mean, you're looking at new valve cover shipped and paint, you're looking at like $350, $400. So, but I mean, the one that is on our 11th gen looks fantastic. So I know a painter. All right, anyone else with questions? I gotta get to my 65 emails. All right, I think we'll probably end there for tonight. I might do it again next Monday. We'll see. But like and subscribe, share the link or whatever. Hopefully as the weeks go on, we can get a lot more questions. The other day on Instagram was just insane, and there were so many questions. So I'm gonna probably keep doing a couple of weeks of Instagram too, off and on, and try and get people more on here to do the live chat. But hope you guys like. Cool, thanks for tuning in. And